Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going over the must-know tips and tricks for the Galaxy S23. This will make your phone so much faster and have a much longer battery life. Now I'm going to be going at a specific speed. If it's too slow for you, 2x it, and if you want to go back a step, then go back till you get it all right. But this is experience that will be very helpful for you in your entire journey with this smartphone. And make sure to subscribe to check out our other videos on how to improve your photo and video quality, as well as the hidden features video. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first thing I always have to point out is how you can send 4K video to an iPhone user over email, whichever way you need. So you can do this with photos and videos, but basically these are very large files right here. 8K video, 4K video, large files. If I share this is really big, 1.16 gigs. So this is going to be too big to send over an email. It's going to be too compressed. If I send it over text message, it'll just look horrible. So all you need to do for this is click this little button called Quick Share and then tap Link. Right here, copy link, and bam. This is now creating a specific link for you to share, and then you can share this with anyone you want and whoever you want. With this link, you can literally share it through whichever way. And you can shorten this process by just clicking share via link. And as you can see, you can share this over text message. You can share this over any app you pretty much have here, and it will share in full quality. That is absolutely amazing, the fact that you can actually share it at full quality. Samsung is still the only phone that really does this at this level, at this kind of quality. So I do love them for that, and it's one of the biggest features they have that you can't get anywhere else on Android currently. So I think it's a great feature and one you should definitely use all the time for this phone. Now for the next feature, it's just on your home screen, and I want to make sure that you actually get rid of usually the Google Assistant or the Samsung free feature you have here. So what I do is I like to get rid of it so I can go much faster on the home screen, and it just moves so much quicker then. So just getting rid of that will make your home screen faster. But while we're on here, let's go over to remove and uninstall apps that you don't want. If you have a carrier phone specifically, you have a lot of bloatware, and you can uninstall or disable these. And the reason why that's so good is because either it's completely removed from your phone, great, but even if you can't completely uninstall it, just disabling this makes it so much better, as it doesn't take resources like RAM, storage, and everything else you can need. And Samsung will come with a lot of bloatware on there. So if you don't like all of the Samsung apps, feel free to get rid of most of the ones you're not going to use. If you're not going to use Samsung Health, Samsung Music, whatever you do not want to keep, get rid of it. And like I said, even if you can't uninstall it, you can usually at least disable it. So whatever you're looking to do, you can do. I've already disabled this one, but it's just that simple and easy to be able to do. All right, now I know I said Samsung comes with a lot of bloatware, but there is actually a Samsung app you want to download that is the best experience on Android possible, and that is with Good Lock. Now you can find this app via the Galaxy Store that should come pre-installed on your phone, and then just search Good Lock. Now, I will add another one to this, and that is also Good Guardians. So both of these are Samsung apps that let you preview high-end features that you can't get anywhere else on Android, and that honestly make your phone absolutely amazing. So for Good Lock, there are so many things. You can customize how your S Pen works. You can customize your lock screen, your home keys, your home screen, your clock. You can customize how split screen works, camera assistant. There's just so many things. Screenshot, I love a one-handed operation because I can quickly go back by swiping from the left and go back one step by going there. Also, Good Guardians is one I'm going to add just because you can actually do things that make it even better performance. Like Galaxy App Booster is a must. You can, every time you get a software update, make sure that your apps are also updated so it's performing as best as possible. That one's the main one I recommend everyone download. These two I'm going to test this time around, but overall this is two apps that I recommend downloading from the Galaxy Store that are going to greatly improve your experience. And if you want a full video on just those two apps, please let me know in the comment section. All right, now before we get to the settings, the next part is going to be in your top notifications. Now, you can do this by either swiping down twice or doing a 2-finger swipe, whichever way you rather do. But over here, when we hit this little 3 dots, you can actually edit a lot here. So first and foremost, I would edit the quick panel. Make sure that these two are always available, that you can always do your device control and media output buttons so you can control these things, as well as brightness control, show always. I think you're gonna have a much better experience just to be able to control your brightness instead of having to swipe like this to be able to control it. Things like this just make everything simpler with this phone. Status bar, you can actually change as well in how you want it. Make sure you show your battery percentage. That's gonna be a really good thing. You can do floating notifications. There's a lot of things we can change here, but the biggest thing I would make sure is 3 most recent, so you don't have a very cluttered notification icon panel. I just do most recent 3. I think that's the best way to go. And definitely show your battery percentage. Now, going back to this area, I would recommend hitting these little 3 dots again and do edit buttons. Make sure that you like it exactly how you want it. Use the ones that you use most often, obviously towards the front. For myself, I use airplane mode, do not disturb, screen recording, QR scanning a lot, as well as smart view. Power saving and wireless share charging, I kind of change back and forth with some of these other features, but it's just whatever you are using most often will allow you to get the most out of your phone. All right, and now we're gonna get into settings and we will go through this entire section so you know where everything is and what you can change. So first off, under connections, we're gonna go to Wi-Fi and then go to intelligent Wi-Fi. Now, this is pretty interesting on how to do this because it really can change a lot of things. We will get to routines, and I usually have Wi-Fi off whenever I am not in a main Wi-Fi area, such as my house, such as my job, places like that where I will always connect to Wi-Fi. I automatically turn Wi-Fi off when I'm out of that geo region, and we'll get to that later how to do that. But that saves your Wi-Fi from always scanning. This is a real big problem and it drains your battery a lot. So I do like to leave this on, turn Wi-Fi on and off automatically for your trusted Wi-Fi locations. That makes it so that it will turn on when you get to those areas, but otherwise have a routine which we'll set up later that when you leave your area, your Wi-Fi is turned off. And I would always recommend it, keep it like this. If you want, you can change whatever else you're looking at, but these are the main things that I would currently recommend. For Wi-Fi calling, make sure you set up either cellular preferred or Wi-Fi preferred. I have a pretty good cellular connection in my area. However, I have been in areas that had a really poor cellular connection. Then in that case, I would want to switch to Wi-Fi preferred. So just make sure you switch to whichever one you want. Then under Bluetooth, I just thought you should know Samsung is one of the only devices out there on the market that can actually connect to 2 Bluetooth headsets at the same time. So you can actually connect to 2 different earbuds at the same time. You can connect to 2 different speakers at the same time. It doesn't matter what brand they are, they can connect to it simultaneously. That's a unique feature that Samsung has that doesn't get talked about as much because they kind of hid it. It's just plain that you can just connect to 2 devices and you're good. So in the last part of this section, we are going to want to go to data usage. And this is so important because this will stop apps from running in the background. That's huge, right? You can actually stop apps from being able to use your data in the background moving forward. So this is going to be really big. You're going to want to go under mobile data usage and Wi-Fi data usage and just start looking at all of the apps that are here. And then if you don't want them getting data in the background, boom. Do not allow them to use data in the background. It's just that simple. Now this app cannot use any data going on in the background. And you can do that with any app you want to. You can also see how much data it's been getting in the background. This not only causes your phone's resources, but your battery to drain more quickly. So when you have it not allowed to, then guess what? It won't be an issue. Now, the main thing you should know is, like say for Instagram, I actually do like getting messages on Instagram and keeping up with it. So I want to allow the data to go in the background for that purpose. But if there are apps like Sling TV, I don't need that to go in the background. I disabled that. And any of these apps that you do not need to use in the background at any point, then disable it. Now, ones that I wouldn't do, Gmail, something like that, right? Emails you want to always have on and have access to them. Any kind of things that you need to have access to, like Google Play services, that literally makes this phone work. Anything that needs to run in the background at times, you want to allow to. But like TikTok, I don't care about notifications on TikTok, so I'll turn that off so that I don't get any. But this will be very helpful to see all of these ones that are downloading things in the background when you don't need them to, and make sure that they never run again. So this is a really great feature, and it will definitely save you a lot of battery life and a lot of headache, especially if you have limited data as well. And now we go to connected devices. So for connected devices, this is all about Samsung's ecosystem. That's what this is. If you don't have any other Samsung devices, then you don't need to really worry about this entire area. If you do, then this will help you out. So for Quick Share, this will allow you to share to other devices in Samsung's ecosystem. So you can share to anyone else using Quick Share with this feature. And this is the alternative to Apple AirDrop or Google's Nearby Share, which is also on this device. Quick Share is just quicker for Samsung to Samsung devices, and it's just easier to do. These two are if you have either the Galaxy Buds and if you have a Samsung tablet, very simple and easy. If you have Windows Link, which is really great if you do have Windows, actually, you can send text messages and even mirror your phone to your PC. Anything that has Windows can run this, so it's really great and easy, and I always use it. Dex is when you plug to an external screen. It kind of makes it look like a desktop. Smart View is going to be how you mirror your phone to your TV or even Samsung Smart Fridge or different products like that. With Smart View, you can actually reverse view too. So if you actually want to watch your TV on your phone while you step into another room, you can actually have it, if it's a Samsung TV, play on your phone. And then everything else under the Samsung ecosystem, whether it be connecting to your car, connecting to smart things, their smart home devices, and Galaxy Wear on your watch. Now we have modes and routines. So this is actually how your phone can change depending on what you're doing. So if you're sleeping, what should it be doing? If you're in a movie theater, what should it be doing? Exercising, driving, these are actual routines that you can set up and you can make it do whatever you want. So a routine that I can do for work can be when I get to a certain location or a certain Wi-Fi connection or a time of day, it changes how the phone is used. You can do this very granular, and to the point where you can have do not disturb mode turn on, you can have only certain people call you or app notifications even allowed at this location. You can also go into power saving. Maybe when you're at work, you're not really going to use the phone as you would normally use it. So you can automatically switch to power saving mode. You can change the sound mode or the volume. So when I'm at work, I can have it make sure to go on vibrate right away as soon as I get there. No ringtones, notifications, whatever I would want to have. Another thing is I can have an app or app action do something. And again, this could be very granular. When you get to a certain location, you could say, open my Amazon shopping and create an order or look at my deals. There are apps that allow you to do more things and have more control over things, like calendar. Open up your calendar right when you get to work so you can see what your schedule looks like. These are things that are very useful, and you can really create a lot of things with it. So you can get again, as specific as you really want with this, and you can do a lot as you would want to. Now, when you do get there, you can restrict app usage. You can actually even change how your wallpaper looks. So you can change how it looks, how your clock is, everything about it from your smartwatch to your home screen look different just based on work. This is really great because you can have more of a serious look at work versus a more fun look at home, or whatever you would really want. And this would turn on automatically when you arrive there and turn off automatically when you leave there. Simple and easy, but this is something that could definitely benefit you for sure in these scenarios. Now, while modes is newer, one of the things I absolutely love is routines. So routines is how I set up my Wi-Fi to make sure that it's not draining at all times. So when I'm on the go or when I connect to my Bluetooth, Wi-Fi is off. Simple as that. As soon as I do that, Wi-Fi is off, so that way I know I'm not draining my battery when I'm on the go or when I'm out of the area. Now, you can do this by geotagging your area too. So when I arrive at home, like right now, home Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi's on. When I'm on the go and leave the geotag area, Wi-Fi is off. Simple as that. And then another one of my favorites is auto power saving. When my battery reaches 35%, it'll turn always on display to tap to show instead of always on, and NFC off. I can also add to this, of course, I can do more and more things, but this is the kind of things you can do with routines. Absolutely love them. Setting up these two will definitely save your battery life. Now, for sound and vibration, the main thing I want you to do is go to Sound Quality and Effects and turn on Dolby Atmos. This is going to give your sound a much richer sound than it does come out of the box with. But also, for when you use headphones, you have to have headphones either plugged in or headphones that are going to be ready and set so that you can do your hearing test. This will actually adapt all sound coming out of your phone to your ears. Samsung was one of the first ones to do this, and it has done it so well for so long. You can just do, your age range to kind of do that fine, but overall, if you do it for yourself, trust me, it'll be a night and day difference. Everyone is always impressed by how much of a difference you get for your ears after the change. And then we go to notifications. There's one thing I just like to show here, and that is notification pop-up style. You can actually do it to brief or detail, and if you do it to brief, you can kind of have this like little effect that comes with it. You can change the effect, you can do all kinds of fun stuff with it, or you can do detailed, which I just like to have a little bit more, but I know a lot of my friends like brief, so it depends on what you're looking for. And then under advanced settings under notifications, you can do notification reminders. This is if you are a person that always forgets about your notifications, you can have it remind you with a new notification every 15 minutes till you get to it. Now, if you're a person that never clears your notifications, you might not want to do that, but it depends on the person. All right, and then we move on to display. First thing you have to do, turn on dark mode. This is so important. This saves you by itself an hour and a half of battery life. So never use light mode, always turn dark mode on, because this is an OLED display, which means that when you see the color black, it means the pixel's actually off, so you're using way less energy and it saves you a lot more battery life. Then, the much debated thing that I will always tell people, and some people will agree with me, some people don't. I've tested it back and forth, so I know it's right. I turn adaptive brightness off, and I leave the screen brightness up to about 70 to 80% at all times. Why? Because this sensor isn't being used all the freaking time, and that way you will not drain your battery life more and more. For me, I have my phone out a lot, and adaptive brightness constantly drained it, so I learned a long time ago, keep brightness to a certain setting and you're good. Now, I like to have it at why 70, 80% because that is for me. I live in a lot of light areas where I have either a lot of light on me or I have the sun outside on me. So because of that, it just makes more sense to keep it at that brightness. If you typically aren't in a very bright setting, then turn it down, just on depending on you. Obviously, if you turn it lower, you're gonna save even more battery life. All right, now for motion smoothness, this will typically save about half an hour to an hour, depending on the user. But you can either go to adaptive brightness, which means it will actually go as high as 120 Hertz. This is a faster motion. Most people though, standard is perfectly fine. For example, for everyone in my family but me at my house, I leave it on standard. For myself, I like adaptive. But this is something that, again, a lot of people will not notice. I don't care what MKBHD says, most people do not notice this, and standard is the way to go. Saves you battery life, and I think more people care about that. Eye comfort shield, this is always a good thing to schedule, and that's what I do. So I have it on between 11 and 6 that it will basically make it so that it won't have as much blue light. Simple, easy, just do it to your sleeping schedule. Screen mode, I like vivid. Some people like more of a natural feel. I think if you buy a Samsung, you want a vivid screen, but it's up to you on what you feel, so go at it, but I would say most people prefer vivid. These two sections, you're just gonna want to fine tune to your eyes, whether it be screen zoom, and whether it be font style, all that stuff. For my mom, obviously, I really increase it for her eyes. For mine, I like it smaller if possible. Then we go to screen resolution. Honestly, this in my experience has saved very little battery, so much so that it's not been noticeable. So I would just go all the way to having a 1440p display. For me, it really hasn't shown much of a difference. 720 will save you about half an hour to an hour, so a little bit more coming from 1080, but I haven't noticed that much of a difference. If it has been, maybe 10 minutes at most, but it's so much so that I would say it's an error in terms of how it actually was tested. So I would actually say leave that on. You won't really experience a difference. Easy mode. It's just simple. It's the easiest mode for a person. If you're going from a cell phone to a smartphone, this is easier than an iPhone. It's easier than anything else in existence for smartphones. It's just the simplest way to experience a smartphone. So if you are having someone that's maybe elderly or even a kid that doesn't ever use a smartphone, then maybe this would be for them. That's what it's good for. I did this for my dad when he switched from a cell phone to a smartphone. Edge panels. I absolutely love this. It's something that I really like, just to be able to quickly swipe and jump to specific apps. I would recommend customizing this as much as you want. The two that I think are the best for most people are apps and also Smart Select. If you want to screenshot in a very specific way, these are good things to always have with you. Other things are more fun, even clipboard, all your copied text over a while. I would like that as well. These are things that I would really like, but apps is the number one that I recommend having, just because if you quickly do split screen like I do, then you can jump right to your favorite split screen apps. Navigation bar. Now this is different for everyone. This is the gist of it. This is old traditional Android buttons. There is swipe gestures, and there's two versions of swipe gestures. There is the horrible one, I think, that Android has, which is this one right here. Swipe on the side and swipe up from the bottom to get to home screen. I actually love Samsung for creating an in-between that I think is the best overall. Back home recent, just like you used to have, but now they're swipes and they're just quick and easy. I absolutely love this, and to me it's the best way. You can also change the order that they are in as well. All right, then the last things for display you want to know is definitely always turn this on, so if you do not get accidental presses in your pocket, and turn on the touchscreen sensitivity if you're putting a screen protector. I will be showing a video on the best glass screen protector for this phone, so subscribe for that too. All right, then we go to home screen, which mine is a little bit different because of my Home Up app that I have on there, but you already turned off the Google Discover. Here's a definite tip. If you are a person that always messes up your home screen because it's in your purse and it gets pressed accidentally or something like that, for my mom and most of my family, I do this. Lock home screen layout. So once it's set up, they cannot mess it up. Their phone icon isn't somewhere else or in their, whatever. All these icons aren't all over the place. It's simple and easy, and definitely something I recommend for people. Lock screen. Now, lock screen, there is a couple of things to note, but the most important one I would recommend is Smart Lock. Smart Lock will allow you to not need to put your lock screen in certain scenarios. So you can have it so you never have your lock screen at home. If that's dangerous, don't do it. You can also have it when it's connected to a trusted device. So for instance, anytime I drive, I do not need to put in my lock screen because that is dangerous, obviously. So it just makes it simple and easy to not need to put on my lock screen anytime I'm driving. You can do trusted places like work. Maybe you don't need your screen at work. Again, if that's dangerous, don't do it. You can do it to having your trusted device. So anytime your smartwatch is connected, then hey, you don't need to worry about it. It will not happen. So these are all really good scenarios when you might not want your lock screen, and definitely saves you a lot of headaches. Now, always on display will save you half an hour of battery life if you turn it off. I personally love it, so I will keep it on. But again, it just depends on what you're looking for. For me, it's convenient to always see the time and notifications on my screen no matter what, but it will save you about half an hour battery life if you turn it off. All right, so then we have security and privacy, and there's 4 things that I really want to go through on here. First thing is Find My Mobile. This is Samsung's solution to be able to find your device, lock it, and be able to get to it no matter what. This is a really great solution, and I definitely recommend you have it set up on your phone so that you can find it at any time. Even offline finding will use Bluetooth to be able to do it. So this is just a really good way to make sure that your phone is secure always allow this phone to be found. The next one is going to be under updates. Now, this one is really important because you need to make sure that your security is up to date. I guarantee you, if you tap this one right now, it's out of date. Try it. Let me know if I was right. All right, so this is going to make sure that you are up to date for your security updates, which isn't the same as being updated by Google Play services. So that is going to be different. That's your standard software updates, but it is going to be different for the other way. All right, now there's two more things in here, and that is first, secure folder. This allows you to split up your phone into two phones. So you have your either personal phone and work phone, meaning that if you install all of your work software, Outlook, everything on this side of the phone after setting up secure folder, your work cannot see anything of your personal side. They can't see your text messages, they can't see anything like that. It is completely separated. And I have never seen any software actually beat this system, so it's really that good. Second is going to be, you can have a public profile and a private profile. So you can have a secured folder version of your gallery, of your apps even. You could have a public Snapchat account signed in on one side and have a private Snapchat account signed in on another side. Do with that what you will, but you can really separate it entirely, so much so that you can have it be a different fingerprint to unlock to get to secure folder, or you can have a different PIN to get to secure folder. Something that basically no one would ever know you had this set up. And then finally we have private share. This is a really great one just because it allows you to share files privately and then recall them. So this is really great, so you can actually set up an expiration date if you're texting or sending any kind of very private and sensitive information. You can also recall it. It essentially encrypts it just like you can do over email, but this is a really great feature just because if you want to send a private photo or video, you can actually have it only limited to 24 hours or even an hour, and they can not screenshot it. So really good, very awesome. Then we go to accounts and backup, and mainly you just want to back up with one of the services you have an option here for. Whether it be Samsung Cloud or whether it be Google Drive, back up your information so if you get lost or stolen, you have a backup for it. And then finally, in Google services, there's going to be more backup and other things you can do. So first thing, I would use Google's autofill to generate passwords for you and have better encryption than any other service that I've seen. There's LastPass, there's other password service apps, but honestly, I think Google is the best one overall at doing it. And as long as your main password is secure and very good, I think you're very well protected so that all of your passwords will be secure. So I always turn this one on. Then backup, again, just back up all your information, simple and easy. Find My Device. This is Google's version of Find My Mobile that Samsung has. I always set them both up just because I'm a little paranoid and I want to make sure that if my phone's ever lost, I can lock it so no one else can use it, I can track it down, and finally I can remote delete everything if needed. Then we go to advanced features. So these are a couple of things. So first, Labs, I set it up like this. I'm a very big split screen window kind of guy, so I always use it. And one of the biggest things is swipe up split screen just by using 2 fingers. And then you can automatically put any app into split screen mode. So you can have this set up and very easy to go. The one I would also let you know about is you can hit the plus star icon right here and add it to your home screen, this pairing, or add it to your Edge panel that we went over earlier. S Pen, we will go over this in a whole separate video. I turned off a lot of things to show this video, but we will go over that in a separate video. Side key, very simple. Double press for a camera launch and hold down for turning off your phone, and that's the way it should be. You also have motions and gestures. I would set it up like this. This is what I typically like to do. Basically, if you're not using sensors, turn them off because they will only drain your battery life. For smart suggestion, I leave only this one on. The reason is I do not use any of these other services. If you do use these services, then leave them on. Screenshot and recording, I just leave it like this, simple and easy. And then, although I turned it off for this video, show contacts when sharing. I make sure to leave this on just because it helps you quickly share with the main contacts that you usually share with. And then video call effects, this is for your Zooms, your Google Meet, all that kind of stuff. You can change the background, do all kinds of fun stuff. Finally, game launcher. This is going to be a really good one. Always leave this on. Basically, it makes it so all of your games are in one easy location. It optimizes it for it. It just makes it run perfect. just turn it on. It will save you time. And the last thing right here is video brightness. Make sure this is set to bright if you want beautiful looking HDR on this display. This makes it so that all of these apps are going to be actually using HDR and not just saying HDR. So if you want it, there you go. All right, and then we get to battery and device care. This is going to be the biggest section for saving battery life. You will literally gain 2 to 3 hours of battery life on average before this to after this. So let's get started with battery. Right here, you're gonna go to background usage limits. This is very important. Basically, if you do not need the app to run in the background, put it in deep app sleeping. Very simple. So hit the plus icon. Any app that you do not need to run in the background, it should go there. As you can see, I have over a lot of apps that are in here, a lot. And basically, I know that I don't need them to run in the background. Some apps I do though. So an example would be an app that I want notifications from. So if you guys message me on social media or give me a like, thumbs up, I want to see that. So I leave that on. If I don't need it on though, then I'll turn it off. Very simple, very easily. So if I don't need notifications from like Netflix, definitely don't need that on in the background. Any kind of shopping app, definitely don't need that on in the background. Whatever it would be, I do not need on in the background. So simple and easy. If you don't need it, put it in sleeping, and then it will be added there. That is it. However, the opposite of that is also true. If you want to make sure that Samsung's automation never puts an app to sleep that you needed to be here, then you want to put in here. So a good example for me would be something like maybe Outlook. So Outlook, I want to make sure that I always get my emails. Gmail, I want to make sure I always get these services. So those are two apps that I would want to make sure that I'm never going to have there. So this is the kind of thing, bam, Gmail would be one. Any apps that I never want sleeping, this would be in this section. So once you go through that long list, we're gonna go right down here to more battery settings. Change everything like this so you're all set to go. But another thing I wanna let you know about is something that I still haven't done myself. So I will do this and then figure out and tell you guys in a battery review video later down the line. Right now, I believe most people are actually gonna be fine if they switch to light mode for your performance profile. I don't think many people would notice, and honestly, these smartphones in terms of speed are really fast, and we don't need it to be that fast. So I think standard is probably where I'm going to stay at for at least the first week, testing it out, and then I'm going to do a long-term test with light mode and see if it really makes a difference as a power user. But for the majority of people, like if I got my wife this phone, if I got my daughter this phone, if I got my mom this phone, all of the entire phones would be set to light, so they even save more battery life. All right, then in storage. One thing you want to know for storage is even if you delete certain things, they will not actually be deleted. They'll be in a little trash area here. So sometimes when you delete files, like there are duplicate files and large files that you might want to delete down the line. I went through a lot of deleting and I still have a lot of storage. But if there's anything you want to delete, you can actually go through here and go ahead and check it out, especially apps. I have over 100 gigs just in my apps, and a lot of that is YouTube because I save videos offline. But if you don't know, like, man, Call of Duty, I don't really play that. Maybe I should delete it because it's using 2.5 gigs. Then now you know, and you can know if you really want to delete these apps. Then the last thing we're gonna go is swipe down and go to auto optimization. This is very important. Did you know you're supposed to restart your phone at least once a week? Have you done it? No? Then you want to make sure to do this. Restart when needed. Basically, when you're not using your phone, when it's not in any sort of usage, it will reset itself, usually like at 3 a.m. at night. Basically, so that you are optimized when you need it and very, very strategically. This is something you want to do. So if you're not restarting your phone once a week, then let the phone do it for you. Last thing I just want to let you know about is maintenance mode. If you ever take this in for service, you can actually set it to maintenance mode and they cannot detect anything in your phone. They can't get to anything that you may not want them to, such as text messages, pictures, photos, anything like that. All of your sensitive information will not be allowed to be used, but everything that they would still need to do is available to them. And it also reminds you to back up your data before doing so. All right, then the last thing we're gonna wanna do is unlock developer options. So this will allow your phone to move much faster and it does nothing bad to it. All of the animations, all of the motions that your phone does are gonna be now double the speed. So this is something I definitely wanted to do because it is so slow without this. So let's get started. First, about phone, then go to software information, and then go to build number. You're gonna tap this thing 5 times, and then you're gonna enter in your password. And there it is. By the way, for me, it took an extra second to get there. It was just not appearing, so maybe it's just something new that Samsung has that it doesn't change right away, but just so you know, it will appear just shortly. Now in developer options, we're going to do a couple of things, and honestly, you can mess up your phone here, so don't do anything unless you know what you're doing. But the main thing to do is you're going to scroll down till you get to the drawing category. And under the drawing category, you're going to do these 3 things. All of these animations that are set to 1x, you're going to change them to 0.5. Now, some people say, well, you can do this in accessibility. Actually, it doesn't do as good of a job as this, so that's why I still do it this way. And now once you do this, you're gonna notice your phone moves way quicker. Everything moves so much quicker, simple and easy, so you definitely want to set that up. All right, guys, hopefully you did like this video. It took a little while, but I wanted to make sure you got the absolute best experience on this phone. And remember, make sure to check out our other videos on this phone because we are going deep diving into all the features you want to know. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Also, follow me on social media at YouTube Tech Guy. And check out some more great tech videos on your screen right now.